The European stretch is over, and now we're back in the Midwest to experience the largest disc golf tournament in the world. The Ledgestone Open is our yearly reminder that the thrill of competition is open for all disc golfers, from the amateur playing their first Flex Start C-Tier to the veteran professional looking to continue a hot streak. And as thousands compete across the greater Peoria area, the pros continue their push towards the playoffs and hope to capitalize on the third Elite Plus event of the season. Last year, we saw Cole Redolin bursting onto the scene, Big Money Missy living up to her nickname, and a spectacle so nice we just had to see it twice.
Get off of that. Get in the hole. That was awesome!
This year, with the playoffs looming, any throw, any putt could be the one that defines the season. The 2024 Ledgestone Open starts now.
Hello and welcome to round one of 4 of the 2024 Ledgestone Open presented by Grip EQ. We're finally back in Peoria, Illinois for the second time this year. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the two hot geese. We're back.
You guys miss us.
Oh my God, they definitely missed us.
Back across the pond in Illinois.
Yeah, before we get too deep into it, gotta shout out one of my sponsors. Trash Panda made a run of dunes made from 100% recycled plastic in red and Jomez teal. So go ahead and check that out at JomezPro.com/shop, and let's get to disc golf.
Today,
go ahead.
We're going to watch Missy Gannon, the person who won last year.
And the year before.
82% fairway hit so far in 2024.
Holyn Handley so far this season, 79% fairway hit, 65 circle tune regulation, and 78% C1X putting.
Third on our feature card, we are going to watch Ella Hansen. She just got back from Europe the day before yesterday, playing the Estonian Open, the Estonian Open. Fairway hit 70% in 2024, 58% circle tune regulation, 74% circle 1X putting.
And rounding out our card is Eliezra Midtlyng.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to call her Ellie because it's hard to pronounce. 73% fairway hits this season, 55% C-tune regulation, and 69% C1X putting. She also got second place at Des Moines and didn't go to Europe. So coming off kind of a big, win for her.
Yeah, nice little break as well. Let's start with hole 1. We're at Sunset Hills. It's a course that we normally play the last 2 rounds of Ledgestone Insurance Open, but this year, because we had the Champions Cup at Northwoods Black, we will be playing Sunset Hills all 4 rounds. It's a nice, shorter, wide open golf course. Hole 1, a nice example of one of the par 4s out here. A little bit tricky, especially on the approach shot, but the tee shot is wide open.
Joining us on the Disc Golf Network, welcome again back to Sunset Hills Golf Course for the Disc Golf Pro Tour's Elite Series and Discraft's Ledgestone Open, presented by Grip EQ. This is the 9:25 tee time. This is the feature card. And teeing off first, from Beacon, New York, Missy Gannon.
And Missy does well out here. She got first last year and in 2022, but second in 2021. And then she's just coming off the Elite Series win at the European Disc Golf Festival in Estonia, which is her 4th major or Elite Series win this season, which is pretty crazy. The most she's had in any season.
Yeah, she's just the most consistent player right now, potentially in the field, always finding at least the podium.
And from Grapevine, Texas, Holyn Handley.
Guess how many times Holyn's been on the podium this season?
God, all of them?
Give me a number.
10.
8. Yeah, pretty good guess.
Okay.
That's like insanely high, though. Think about that.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like they've all been kind of stacked up more recently as well. So she's playing really great. Unfortunately, that's going to find the sidewalk and
From
skip out of bounds.
Port, New Jersey, Eliezra Midtlyng.
Anyone that did not go across the pond has gotten a nice long break. Probably happy to get back on tour.
This looks like a huge shot from Ellie. Really nice.
And from Seattle, Washington, Ella Hansen.
You think Ella's still jet lagged?
Oh, absolutely.
Are you still jet lagged?
Maybe a little bit. No, I think I finally shook it.
Did she?
Couple days
She came
ago.
back later though, right?
Yep, she played the Estonian Disc Golf Festival. I mean, the European Disc Golf Festival in Estonia, and which was a sweet event. But she just got back on Monday. Quick turnaround to this 4-day event. We were supposed to have some rain forecasted today, but thankfully it held off all day. It stayed surprisingly nice and cool for an Illinois summer, I guess. About mid-80s.
It was delightful. Everyone was thrilled.
This second shot is normally blind unless you get really aggressive on the first shot or where Holyn went out of bounds. She'll be able to see the basket as well, but it's a nice little technical approach.
You can tell though, Missy doesn't know that she's close. Like you just kind of throw and hope it checks up before the water.
Where Holyn lands it is pretty normal area, coming up a bit short here. I don't know why, but it's a very common mistake. Landing right around the edge of circle 1 or into circle 2. On the short side, Ella with a similar problem.
Yeah. It's hard to commit. If you've skipped long into the water once before, you'll just never do it again because there's so much in between the water line and the basket that it turns into a double really quickly.
Yep. It's really hard to get that comeback putt. Nice shot from Eliezra. It's very steeply downhill from the tall side where we're watching Ella putt from right now.
Yeah, that's high risk. And Ella, that was, you think that was a layup?
I think it was, but
I think it was too.
a high risk layup.
Yeah, the best kind. That's funny. Holyn trying to save par.
Nice.
Great putt.
Holyn's been at home working on her course on her own property, putting in some time. Can't wait to see that course design.
I bet it's really short, all putter shots.
Yeah, it's definitely mostly putter shots.
Probably for her they are. For us, they're full speed drivers. Missy for a birdie.
Birdie feels good on hole 1. It's a nice way to start, but everyone in the field can get it as well. So not necessarily a hard one.
But, I mean, that's how all of these holes are.
True.
There's a lot of pressure to birdie. The thing is, though, like last year, I mean, I know it was rainy, but the best round was like 5 down, I think. And I'm trying to see, I think we don't often see double digits, but it feels like someone's going to get that every time.
Yep.
At least one person. So everyone's out here with their foot on the gas trying to score.
Almost half the field got hole 1. Got all those 1 downs.
Hole 2 is a par 3, only 313 feet. Gotta throw it a little farther than that, though, because most of us are taking the hyzer line to the right of that tree that we just passed, putting it up nice and high, spiking in, making sure you don't get too much of a skip, though, because there is OB, that cart path on the left. And there's even OB deep that you can find if you push too straight, depending on how you throw the shot. You occasionally see the sidearm here, but you have to carry OB the whole way, so it's not the most popular play.
Also, every year we come back, these branches get lower and lower.
They sure
Especially,
do.
we had a pretty big rainstorm come through in the wee hours of the morning. I think it rained for about 4 hours straight. Heavy rain for about 4 hours straight. So the course is a little boggy right now. The branches are definitely sitting heavy, holding a lot of moisture.
This one you keep having to throw it harder and or wider. It seems like it's extending.
Yep, it sure does.
Ellie looks like she's going to find the edge of the circle.
This course is a nice little breath of fresh air after the really technical courses and very long courses we've been playing on tour this year. It's kind of nice to come out here and kind of expect yourself to potentially shoot a handful under par.
Yeah, not a lot of thinking, as you said earlier. It's pretty straightforward, kind of just
execute
put it
the
on
shot.
autopilot. Like
Yep.
we can all do this all the time.
If you're 100% circle 1 on this course, you're doing great.
Holyn with a Jawbreaker Z Flex Raptor there, parking the hole.
Ella coming in hyzer.
Oh, it's fine.
Yep. Hole 2 is all about putting. This basket's perched right on the edge of a little hill.
Missy going to come up short there. Ella from just outside the circle.
If you can afford to, that's the safer side to land on for putting. It's nice and flat behind the basket. Ella's still not quite able to ring up for birdie.
And a 2-for-2 start from Ellie.
Just looking confident again, coming out the gate.
Yeah, young gun showing us it's not just the one time.
Yeah.
I can keep doing it.
Looking like I've done this my whole life of 16 years.
I mean, she probably has.
True.
Yeah. She's probably played as long as I have.
Couple birdies, couple pars on hole 2, and that's kind of going to be the story out here. We're going to see a lovely amount of birdies on the card today. Bogeys will be a little bit more rare.
Yeah, bogey feels awful out here.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like about 9 people got that perfect 2-for-2 start.
Hole 3 is a very tricky par 3. It's 384 feet, but it is downhill. There's no out of bounds that you're really worried about until you get up to the green. 9 times out of 10, that's where someone is either having a long putt or maybe a little chippy approach shot. The traps are all hazard, so you have to putt from wherever you land inside of them. And inside those traps, the basket's within 6 feet of 2 of them?
Yes, also inside the traps are puddles of water. This is the hyzer line. That gap looks bigger on camera. It's hard to hit, and it usually will get you kind of this circle 2 look. It's a good play if you have it.
It's the only time you're going to really bring OB into play off the tee is going that route and accidentally pushing it too straight. This is a pretty common route, low, pushing the tree line high, and you always land right by this tree. It makes for kind of a tricky little approach shot depending on how comfy you are with the jump putt.
So difficult. Got to land in that little triangle.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is kind of Missy's bread and butter shot, but it looks like this one's a little lower than she'd like. It's fine. It'll be an easier approach than Holyn's, but still just a little nervy.
Yeah, still scary. I like the forehand here. I think it is a great play. Nice and safe. Ella puts this one a lot lower than you want. She's also going to have a tricky little approach from there.
Yeah, there's hardly any birdies on this one year after year. It's very difficult. And even as we're going to see, the par can be elusive.
Oh, man.
Tries to crawl out.
And that's kind of the story of this hole. You have to be a little forgiving with yourself because even a great approach lands in one of these hazards. Missy taking a safer look at it and landing in the little triangle that opens up.
So consistent, so smooth. Holyn, a little trickier because she's going kind of straight at it and has to fade into the triangle, but she does it really nicely.
Ellie with a little bit of a look for a putt here. Oh, she's closer than I thought. Circle 2 look. Death putt.
Oh, cool.
No problem.
Turkey to start? There can't have been too many birdies today either.
No, this is the second most difficult hole of the day. Ellie is one of only 3 birdies.
And the only Jomez.
Heck yeah, that one feels great.
Yeah.
Kat Murch and Paige Pierce were the only other 2 to get the 2. Ellie is the only
She's stoked.
Yeah, Ellie the only circle 2 birdie on this one.
Ella trying to save a bogey. And there's OB pretty close behind there, that cart path. So that was a good get from Ella. But 1 over through 3 doesn't feel great. The interesting thing about Sunset Hills is if you're not getting those birdies, the mental pressure is like pretty excruciating. Can be. Not if you have a solid mental game like me. Missy really jammed that one in there.
see 65% of the field taking a par on this one. Most common score and what most people's game plans are accounting for.
Ellie gonna take the lead, the only one to go 3 through 3. Hole 4, it's over the water, par 3, 345 feet, plays much shorter though with the downhill. You can see OB's stake line left, and then the line pulled off the water on both sides. You want to kind of throw right at that green or bunker and then hyzer in, OB green, hazard bunker. This bush can kind of catch you if you're not careful, but it's trimmed a fair amount. It used to be like 3 times that size and a much bigger obstacle. It's pretty fair. Worst mistake is to kind of hyzer too early, catch the branches, go in the water.
Ellie putting it way out wide. This is more wide than she wanted, but it works out great. She's inside the circle.
Yeah, I think that's the way to do it. I don't know, even if you go deep, it's pretty hard to reach that green and bunker.
Holyn a little bit lower, not as wide. And bullseye.
Parked. Another raptor. That's looking great for Missy. It's the captain's thrasher, which I'm assuming is a new one. She's team captain, isn't she? Looks a little bit more stable than her other thrashers.
Ella going huge wide hyzer, trying to spike something in. Just on the other side of the bush.
Be a
This is
tough
going to
putt.
be gonna be a weird little putt.
Ellie up first, trying to go for 4 for 4. Oh, she knows it shouldn't have stuck.
4 for 4, that's great.
Yeah. Even with a low left ringer. Just kidding, no one cares. Oh,
Nice.
sick. What a interesting first birdie for Ella.
Nice birdie from Missy. Looks like we're going to have a star frame here.
Only hole 4. I bet we'll have a few more of those and a few more donations of $25 to Edge.
Are we regional birding right now? This is 4 in a row.
You're right. Man,
Yeah.
it's so early. It's the first 4 holes of the tournament.
And also, we just haven't done this in a while. The courses are hard.
Do you have one locked in? All right, we'll come
No.
back to you
Yeah.
with Eliezra's regional bird.
Yeah, hole 5 after the star frame. This is a nice short one. Tight gap off the tee, out of bounds, obviously, in these lovely green ponds. I like the forehand that comes back crashing into the green, but you can throw a little backhand putter or mid as well. You just don't want to throw something too hard. It's very easy to overdrive this one and find the out of bounds deep. This is one that you are chomping at the bit to get a birdie on. See a lot of long putts with people trying to play overly safe.
Yeah, that's my favorite play. Land right by those bushes. It's great. Ellie, probably about 25 feet away, looking at a birdie. She's throwing a Color Glow P3X. Here's Holyn, also going putter. The Swirl Challenger OS. It's a great shot. Holyn just parking the ones that she's getting for birdie.
I know they're everywhere, but I had like a real moment with a red-headed woodpecker on the course during my solo practice round.
Right.
So I feel like that's what I want to do.
Fortunately, you make the rules, and Ellie got a red-headed woodpecker, so.
Yeah, she did.
Ella, pretty low and right. This is what Mad was talking about, where you're playing a little on the safe side. Also, yeah, kind of slippery out there. This is pretty risky.
Yeah, the tee pads are a little aged, but not like a fine wine. They have like a light moss on them.
And more like a warm beer.
And so if you come in with wet feet, you can definitely slide around a little bit. You'll see a lot of people checking their footwork before running up.
Oh, this is really awkward. Is that sawgrass? Doesn't. I don't think it is.
It is. I think
is
it is.
it?
Yeah.
There we go. PDGA rules. You're doing a great job. That looks good to me. Yeah. That look good to you? Yeah, that's great. That looks great.
So they're trying to mark the disc because it was in the air, not on the ground. Just making sure the mini is placed according to the rules.
Ellie trying to go 5 for 5. Almost. That's insane that she just partied the first 4 holes of a tournament. Like, when's the last time we've seen that?
We don't ever see that.
Holyn moving to 3 down with that one. Looking confident. Coming up to the hole that she is albatrossed.
Ooh.
Also, that's got to be exciting.
Half the field birdied this hole, so Ellie's playing a little joke on us not birdieing this one.
Gotcha.
Second easiest hole of the day.
Yeah, you're walking away from this one not super happy with the par. As long as you get a look, though. Holly Finley also 4 down through 5. Hole 6, par 5, 712 feet, so very scoreable. OB line tight on the left. They had it here last year, but it's tighter than previous years. OB line cart path on the right. If you get far enough, you can go across on the second. Again, we've seen Holyn Handley to this, from which is just crazy, from across the water. A lot of women, if you're not off the tee far enough, will lay up short or a little bit to the left and then go across on their third, attacking for the birdie 4.
And this is a 3 that is within everyone's wheelhouse, but the way the fairway is shaped, it's not something that everyone feels comfortable getting super aggressive with off the tee. Holyn is going to find out of bounds, trying to get super aggressive. She just barely squeaks over that left-hand line.
The way the tee pad is pointing is right at that OB line, which again is so much tighter than in previous years. So yeah, it's hard to get aggressive. This is a great shot from Ellie.
Yeah, you have to throw kind of at the OB line deep and let it hyzer out. It's a little scary because if you grip lock, you can very easily find that tree line on the right.
Yeah, you'll see most players doing what Missy's doing here, lining up from the very left corner and then going to the right corner.
I like this little more of a turning shot as well.
Fun.
This tee pad was among the more slippery ones, kind of surrounded by mud. It's not surprising, but it's one that you kind of want to be able to go big on, but it's really tough to not trust your footing.
Ella kind of flirting with the OB. It looks like she's going to be safe. Not really in prime position, though, it seems like, to go across. Missy's just going to lay up.
She's probably about, 380 from the basket right there?
Yeah, that sounds right.
360, 380, just a very late narrow gap. And if you come in low, you have to take it from the short side.
Holyn's still going to go for it. Duh. And this is kind of the problem. These trees, you can get through them, but sometimes they just knock you straight into the water like that. And this is where this hole can be a nightmare.
Holyn may have to take it from the short side of the pond. I'm not sure if she was able to cross safely on the opposite side. Ella going for it as well here. This is a little bit more of a safe, kind of a bailout play. She'll have a circle 2 putt.
Her eagle.
I was kind of surprised that they didn't pinch the OB on the left side a little bit more.
Yeah, I would love them to not, but I also agree. And unfortunately, Ellie going to hit the wall there. That is not crossing the plane of the OB line. She'll have to take it from the short side. Missy, what is this, like 100, 200 feet, 175 feet?
I would say, about 200.
And so difficult to do what Missy just did. Barely clear the wall and stay close. You see a lot of people blast past it and have a death putt coming back at the water.
Holyn taking it from the short side like we thought, just chipping something over. Really nice touch on that shot. Barely crawling over the out of bounds wall.
Yeah, you have to feel like, oh, it might not make it to park the hole. Ellie pulls this one to the right. Whew. She stays up, but she's still at least 50 feet away, looks like, looking at a par. Ella for eagle. Oh, man, strong looking bid.
So close to getting 2 strokes under on one hole. There was one eagle today. It was on my card. Jennifer Smiley threw it in from the short side of the pond after laying
Whoa,
up. Yep.
that's so cool.
Right before that, Allie Smith hit front cage on her approach, and we were all celebrating. And then Jenny steps up and just throws it in the basket.
Let me show you how it's done.
Yep, it was awesome. After that one eagle, there was 23 birdies, half the field getting this one.
But this is a good one because it's so eagleable. We're seeing Holyn and Ellie bogey it because they're attacking for that eagle. I think it's a really good hole. I'm glad they haven't changed it.
Yeah, it's a separator hole in a different type of way.
Mm-hmm.
Nice simple birdie for players like Missy, who never play outside their means.
And win a lot.
And
also.
win a lot.
Ella gonna get under par with that birdie.
When Jenny threw it in, we made her run around the pond and go get it. A huge victory lap.
Oh my god!
It's like 350 feet of
like
running.
She wasn't gonna do it.
Yeah,
you were like, go get it.
We were like, do it. And we cheered the whole way.
Oh my god.
Hole 7, another par 4. We have a new tee pad this year. It used to be a much shorter tee pad, closer to the top of the hill, or you were just kind of throwing downhill. Your second shot is ideally a big hyzer on the right side, but with the first shot, the tee pad being pulled, every bit of 100 feet back, maybe a little more than that.
It feels like more.
Yeah, it's pulled back and into the trees. It's a narrow gap. The way the tee pad is lined up, it's not necessarily putting you in position to get to that great landing zone where you have just a simple hyzer. It's a little bit more of a high risk shot now. You can see the one big tree all the way through the gap. If you can land to the right of that, you're happy. But if you go too far right, you can find OB so fast.
Missy finding that right side, and there is the OB. And also, it says 575, and I couldn't believe that when I read it because the T sign wasn't there at first.
I feel like it's wrong.
Well, I think maybe straight at it, but you can't go straight at it or to the left, which shortens the hole. To have the most open path, you have to go to the right, which lengthens it.
So Ella doing this kind of bailout play, it's there, and it's great for if you have a big forehand, but you have to get so far off the tee to make it work because that left side is not great unless you have a 320-foot sidearm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just crazy. You're definitely throwing more than 300 feet on both shots, so it's confusing.
It doesn't add up.
I do understand this change. I mean, I liked it how it was because it was such an easy birdie, but it was the easiest hole on the course, so understandable that they'd want to make it difficult. And it's a pretty cool tunnel.
Yeah, I don't mind the change at all.
Ellie probably going to be a little shorter and more left than she wants, but with a brand new tee pad, it's hard to. Everyone's still trying to figure this one out.
Yep, I was excited to watch the feature card play this and see what their game plans were. I definitely have more of a Missy play here, trying to work my way up that right side, but the tee shot is just really, really risky. And you can see Missy's not going to be able to recover a birdie from that early OB stroke. That's what I worry about. I mean, yeah, a par. That's what I worry about as well.
Holyn going more down the center here. Doesn't look like she's going to get all the way there with that one. Maybe just edge of circle 2.
Yeah, accidentally puts that one really low. Ellie kind of has a lane somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Just found a good spot. The way the trees are kind of checkerboarded on this fairway, it can be difficult to have a good angle, especially there's a lot of low ceiling branches.
Ella in a pretty good position here to attack. Just going to work the left side with a nice big forehand, like Madison was saying. And a little bit too big. Going to have to earn that putt from circle's edge. Missy, still some work here for the bogey. Not a gimme.
She's so good at that shot. It's the ones that make me a little scared sometimes.
Yeah.
You're like, forehand, backhand, forehand.
Yeah, for sure.
They both work. Hole 7 played in almost the top 5 most difficult holes, just out in a tie for 6th. Only 13% of the field birdieing. Ella going to be one of them.
Yep, moving to 2 down.
She's one of only 6 competitors out of 46 in the field to birdie it.
Yeah, I'm curious if those statistics will improve over the course of the weekend.
Ellie with a birdie putt, but not quite able to drop it in.
Missy with her first bogey of the round, going to move back to 2 under.
And even though it doesn't feel great to get bogeys out here, as long as you keep it to a single, you're good.
Yeah, most people are going to have at least one single bogey.
Mm-hmm. It was a good change on this hole on the design. Definitely feels a little bit more like the holes we play on our other tour events. A little bit
Long.
Yeah, long.
Feels kind of unreachable.
Yeah, a little more challenging. Must have a big sidearm.
Check out Holly Finley, 5 down through 7, leading the way. Hole 8, uphill par 3, 292 feet, plays like 340. Was that tree there last year on the left? Do you remember? I think it was. I think it's a little easier than in previous years.
It was there.
So big turnover is the most common play. Trying to get up the hill, you can see this basket's pretty precariously placed on a right to left sloping hill with some bunkers nearby that you can find, particularly with like if you turn something over and it keeps turning. Owen, of course, going to go forehand. But yeah, that tree used to be right in the way.
Yep. Yeah, you used to
parked it. Wow.
You used to have to almost throw something linear and powerful under the low-hanging branches, or just push that tree.
Yeah, most of the time it was push the tree. So now it's still hard, but it's open. Now they're going to show us the big sidearm route as well.
That's so impressive.
Yeah, it really is. Like Owens was impressive too, but pure hyzer, unbelievable.
It looked like it was not very hard.
Yeah. It was a swirly S-line DD3.
Holyn going low and linear. I'm sure it's easy for her to accidentally, turn this one and go past. That gets a really bad skip off a kind of a hard pan Rudy area that's just to the left of the pin.
Ellie, too high, too turned. Going to crash through some branches. And it's fine. Not what you want.
So Ellie's struggling with a bit of a finger injury. She split her finger open at the preserve. Struggled with it at Des Moines. Isn't that terrifying? Still got second place, even with the injury.
That is terrifying.
But yeah, you see her kind of checking her finger out. She's got a split on the backside of her middle finger. That's affecting her distance throws.
Missy just going to casually park it with the thrasher. Gosh, that is terrifying. What happens when she's healthy?
I don't know.
It's over.
It's over.
Holyn, after that unfortunate skip, going to have about 50 feet. That bunker's right behind it, though, so she can't run this too hard. Yes, she can. Yes, she can. She can run it super hard and make it.
I love that she ran that.
Let's see it again. Slower. Look how close this bunker is behind. Like, that's crazy.
She knows, too. She knows how to run. Yes.
Yeah. Great putt.
Love a circle 2 putt. A little nice uphill as well. We got really lucky today with conditions too. There was a little breeze here and there, but not a lot of wind. It's exciting to watch everyone be able to putt free.
Missy with a bounce back birdie as well. Yeah, no rain, cloud cover, no wind, like pretty pleasant
a light
out
north
there.
breeze.
Yeah.
3 birdies on this one. Come on,
Okay, what was
feature card.
the percentage today?
Only 17 or 8 out of the 46 competitors birdied this one. Very impressive. Holyn and Rebecca Cox hitting circle 2 putts for birdie.
Everyone at 3 down. That's fun. That's good enough for a tie for 8th right now.
And let's wrap up the front 9 with this very technical par 4. I kind of like this hole. There's a bunch of different options. You can go right side, hyzer to the right of this tree. You can go up the gut if that's what you're feeling, or you can go left side with a turnover if you've got a big sidearm. I love that play. You kind of just play the hole after seeing where your driver lands. You don't necessarily have a great game plan because they're challenging gaps to hit. And so just wherever you land is what your next shot is going to dictate. Being out wide to the right is nice because you can just chuck it over the pond. If you land short, accidentally turf it, it can get really difficult to go across on your second shot. Holly with a really nice height during this chase card check-in. Coming in, she's going to be way out to the right side, able to just hyzer one into the green.
Is she chase card?
Or
Some card check-in.
second, third, fourth.
A check-in with Holly Finley.
Barely crawling over the pond. Tap in for birdie.
6 down through 9. Fire. I was assuming she made that.
I know Holly doesn't love golf courses, but I've heard her say that she loves Sunset Hills.
It's a different style of golf course. It's not what you typically think.
And it's nice that we just know it so well. We've been here so many times.
This is a really, I think, good play going sidearm, though you can get caught up in those middle trees, but honestly, that's a risk with any line.
And Ella throws it so far. This is a hole that really does reward distance. As long as you get way down there, every shot is a lot easier because it takes the low ceiling out of play.
Definitely.
Coming up short is what makes this hole kind of stack.
The second kind of lower release we've seen from Holyn today, but she's inbounds and can potentially go across, though it'll be risky. Missy taking this right side gap, harder than it looks. And again, these trees can definitely come into play. I like this play where you hyzer in past the trees. My friend Madison told me to try it, and it worked really well.
As long as you go far, it's great. I like the left side play, but it does bring the OB.
This is why I don't like it.
Yeah, it brings the OB into play. Ellie's for sure going to find it.
And that's why you see most women not going to go straight down the gut like that.
Holyn definitely thinking about the low ceiling here. Oh, never mind. She's going out and around.
Yeah, around it. In it? No. Oh, man. That was deceiving.
It was. I don't think she crossed over. She's again going to have to take it from the short side.
Ella from a bit closer, but under the branches, not able to go around, has to punch under. That looks great.
Nice.
A really good shot.
That was a very technical line.
And it's so easy to blast way too far past this one and then have a terrifying comeback or putt. Man, look how far this is. Oh, no.
Ellie gets a bad reaction, and she's going to be 2 OB strokes deep on hole 9.
Hopefully that one, there's an OB line pulled off the water, so hopefully she crossed up there at least. And, like, look at Missy's. Look how far she is.
She's so far.
With the hyzer play. That's awesome.
25 feet left for birdie. Holyn for sure soft bidding.
Yep. Good run. Gonna have a little work left, though, for the bogey. Ella for a birdie. Nice. The water definitely present enough to be a factor that you're trying to ignore as you make that putt.
Doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
It's not even in the way. It's fine. Ooh.
Nice recovery from Holyn. I like the little aggressive run on the approach.
Missy for a birdie. Whoa. That thing wobbled in there so fast.
I know.
Did we just hit fast forward? Like, she's jamming them.
Yes, she is. She is looking so confident on the putting green. Ellie to save bogey.
All right. 2 birdies, 2 bogeys. Kind of atypical. I forgot my glasses. Don't make fun of me. Holly Finley's leading the way at 6 down through 9. Owen Scoggins 5 down through 9. Lisa Vegas, Deanne Carey. Oh, look, it's me, Missy Gannon.
Yeah, we got a
Can't
goose
merge-
in the
I'm not
top
gonna
3.
look at all the 4 downs.
Honk. Let's honk anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, you just got to get those birdies out here. I personally think the front plays a little bit easier.
And I feel the opposite. I think the back is much easier.
Because you know how we like to agree with each other.
That's why we're here. That's why we have this job. So we can bring you all the sides of the story, not just the one we think is real. It's nice to be back on a nice, easy course on a sunny day. We've got 9 more holes at Sunset Hill. They're a little more technical in the back. I think a little easier to focus and a little more fun. Come hang with us. Thanks again to the Founders Club. We'll see you guys on the back. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb, and we're the 2 Hot Geese.
Honk.